One of the most common ways that hackers are able to compromise your computer is by sending you a phishing email. Now, phishing, not unlike when you're actually going real fishing, you're setting out some bait and hoping that the fish bites that bait. What they do is they send out an email and they make it look enticing. And so several years ago, it was very common to have promises of millions of dollars that were waiting and needed your help to move this money from some foreign country in. But they've become more clever in their schemes, and they want to have you click on a link impersonating someone. And if you click on that link, then they get to take you where they want to take you, to a bad site, which compromises your computer. And so this phishing, what we need to make sure is that you're very cautious about the emails that come in, what you click on, and what attachments you open. For example, Citizens Bank is never going to send you an email that says, hey, you haven't logged onto your internet banking in a while. Here, click here and log in. We're not going to do that. You don't know that that link really goes to where that email says it's supposed to be going. And so we recommend that you bookmark our website and our internet banking logon so you can go there directly and log in. And then if there is information there, you'll see it because you've gone to where you know, not to where some link may or may not take you. There are lots of characteristics of these emails that you can look out for. For instance, when you look at the email, who it says it's from is not necessarily who it is from. Most email clients today, next to who it says it's from, it'll put in brackets and it'll give the actual address. And so if you're looking at that and that address does not look right, it's not the same address of that person, you know that someone's trying to impersonate them. Another example is you'll see, since these are originated overseas in many instances, not all, but in many, their grammar sometimes tips you off that this is not an English speaker, because they'll use poor grammar, or there might be some misspellings in there, promising things that are too good to be true, or they also might threaten things like, if you don't respond to this notification now, the police will come to your house and arrest you, or the IRS is going to place a lien. And so they work with either enticing you or with fear. And so you need to be very, very cautious and think before you click on any email, because that is one of the most common ways that they get you to run their software to take over your computer. Skimming is one of the most common ways for bad guys to be able to compromise and get your debit card or credit card number. What they do is they will install a piece of hardware over like a gas pump, where you put your card in a gas pump, or at a point of sale machine at a store, and what it does is it captures your information as you're putting your card in there, and then they're storing it and they come back and retrieve it later. And that allows them to make a duplicate of your card and then go use it somewhere and take the money out of your account. Another way that your card can be skimmed or captured is actually at a restaurant. You're sitting down in a local restaurant and eating your meal, and then here comes the waiter or waitress, and then you hand them your card, and they go back to the back, and you don't see where they go with your card. Well, if they aren't an honest person, they can skim your card back there and capture that, and then return that back to you, and then you don't know that they've captured your card until suddenly you see fraud. When you go to a gas pump, tug on that card reader and see if it pulls back away from it. It should stay in there, it should be good and firm. Same thing on ATMs or point of sale machines. You can look at them and see. They work to make them look just like the original, but if you tug on them a little bit, you can see that they've installed something there. So one of the ways that you can protect yourself is regularly checking your account and looking for unauthorized charges. It's not a good idea to go long periods of time, because you want to be able to identify and remember, hey, this was a transaction that I just recently did, and that's the right amount. Citizens Bank is taking steps to protect you as well. One of the things that we do to protect you is we employ the latest fraud detection software on our debit cards. What this does is it looks at the types of transactions that you're performing and what retailers they're at. It scores those to see if it's a fraudulent transaction or if it's likely a real transaction. Perhaps you might not regularly make a large purchase of electronics out of state. If this is outside of your normal behavior, you will receive a phone call from us asking, hey, did you do this transaction? And we do that in an effort to try to combat the fraud before it ever hits your account so you don't have to deal with it afterwards.